the Sony HT-A9 video. Finally,
Oh yeah.
FOMO. You can, come pick it up, or I'll drop it off. Sorry, it took me a while. I don't know. Some of these things are just harder to review. There's just so many things that it does. It's just not a straightforward review, and you kind of just gotta take your time with them.
I know, which is why, like, even with these receivers, like, I like to wait a few months before I can. And then, I mean, especially with something stupid like these firmware updates, like that Yamaha's doing. So if this Oro 3D one actually happens to happen, then there's still the 4K 121 update that's supposed to happen as well. When is that coming? I mean, for companies, like, seriously, man, did I need to pay $3,000 for that? It's missing 25% of the features that everybody wants. So how about we just knock off $800 or $900 off that price there, buddy? Yeah,
I like it. I like it when you buy something, because then you get more mad when it doesn't work.
Oh my god,
it's way better.
It's so aggravating. Like, because Sasha was like, "Didn't you say you needed to put a receiver in here?" And I was just like, yeah, but you're gonna hate it. And I'm like, well, and she's like, why? I'm like, it's that one that keeps switching inputs on you. And she's like, oh yeah, don't do that. So I was like, you know what? I'll just put the Pioneer up because I got to work on that too. So
all right,
definitely taking your time with these things helps. And I can only imagine that setup, that Sony setup. You're probably like, oh man, I did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the Sony, the HT-A9s. I mean, they do some things cool. I think they fake the upfiring thing the best out of anything I've heard so far. I mean, those focals sounded pretty real at CES, Shauna.
Yeah.
Remember when they did the upfiring? I'm like, oh
yeah. Well, they had those two like fins in the plastic to kind of like direct the sound up there. And the way she was talking about like obstacles at the ceiling, I was like, oh, that's a very good term. Obstacles, because the sound has to have a clear path to get to the listening position.
Yeah.
But those were actually very good. So you're saying the Sony sounded like on par with that kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say on par. I'm trying to figure out whether it's better or not. I would say about on par. I mean, we're talking about Focal Cora 8, what is it, 826Ds or whatever they are.
Yeah, they're like 2,000 or 1,800 each.
Yeah, so
something like that.
To say they're even somewhat close is good, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, to me, the tonality, it annoys me when the tonality's off. I mean, Aaron, I showed a graph earlier, and he's like, what did he say? I think he said yuck or something.
I think I said yuck.
Yuck.
I was like,
yuck. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I thought we all knew what the frequency response should be, like what the target response should be. Don't we know this already? Like, at least give us options so we can get it there. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised that they don't at least give you some basic tonality control. Just a treble bass. Something.
It's just brighter.
Yeah.
Brighter.
It was like just going up. I was like, and that's in room. So like flat in room is already bright, but going up in room is like, oh god.
Yeah. Well, those are near field measurements. So.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
still,
it
they
might be
sounded
closer
like
to flat in room. Yeah,
they sounded like they look. But even then, flat. That's not the target response.
No,
is in your listening position. They think it's supposed to be flat. Like, we already know it's not supposed to be that. So
you don't want it flat. That's going to hurt.
Come on, Sony. You can. I mean, if you guys want to hire us for consulting, I mean, we'll let you know how to do it. I thought you guys had some people. I'm just a dude.
I mean, but a lot of people just get enamored by that initial sound. Oh, it's bright. I like that. It's detailed. And then after like a day, they're like, oh my god, I can't hear anything.
I mean, I guess it would matter I would like to know what the average TV viewing time is for people in the United States, let's say. Because wouldn't that affect, would you want a brighter speaker? Would you want a more laid back speaker, and how much time you spend in front of the system?
You probably get used to any sound. At the end of the day, you'll probably like, oh yeah, I guess that's how it's supposed to sound. I don't know. You could get used to it. But when you have better speakers and you get to hear better speakers all the time, it's very obvious, that those are bright. So I'm not knocking them. I think they do what they're supposed to do very well, which is You know, you set them up, you just plug them in. You know, they connect to each other. They give you some height effects. It does all that perfectly. The sub is super weak though. I think the sub, it was like a 5 1/4 inch with a like a passive radiator on the bottom.
I was going to ask what the size of the driver is, because I figure it's probably a small box for it.
Yeah, it was a small box, but I mean, the SVS 3000 micro is smaller, has 2 8-inch woofers, and it can get down to like, I think 24 is what they claim, and I think that's about right. You can get 20 hertz out of it, but you have to corner load it, and that's, you know. But this other one, it's a 5 1/4. I think it's like hidden behind this like thick material. What do you know? You know, the grill material. Typically, I have a pretty bright flashlight, like 3000 lumen flashlight, right? And typically, you can just shine a light. I mean, you could barely see it in there. It's like they're really trying to hide it. But you know what you can see very easily on the sub? If you look at the bottom, it has a passive radiator that's like a 6x9 ish, you know. And so I'm assuming most people look at that like, oh, look at that, that's the speaker. Like, no, that's not the speaker.
Yeah,
the speaker's in the front. But
is anybody really surprised though with Sony? I mean, come on, Sony's never made a quality speaker.
I consider Sony like a Walmart brand at this point. I really do.
I mean,
damn,
price
harsh.
Well, for
speakers, yes. No, I mean, no, I totally agree. You know, when we used to back in the day have those, you know, devices where it said it's a Sony, I was like, yeah, it's a Sony, man. This thing was good.
Right.
But, you know, I've said this before on the show, and other people have mentioned it too. Like, once they started making movies, like, they're kind of like, everything else kind of let's not put much money into this. I mean, their TVs and stuff and the projectors are, you know, pretty awesome.
Yeah, they got do something
like I said, it's not a bad company. They're just kind of like some companies. They're trying to be all things to all people, and some things they just don't do well. So leave it alone.
Oops. Sorry, someone said shots fired. Yes, look out, Sony! I'm coming after you.
Yeah. You know, I felt that one. Those subs the sub is $698.
No,
super cheap. It's like, oh man.
So the full system is like $2,500, right?
What's that?
The full system
choked up here, Joe.
It's like $2,500.
I think I heard they raised the price from $1,800 to $2,000. So let's say $2,000 plus that.
You're getting closer to 3,000.
That's crazy for a wireless set of speakers. Now they do have Sony. I don't know if they still make them, but actually somebody just posted it. They have, I think it was called the SS1 or something, but it used big old tower speaker, and it used ScanSpeak drivers. And I remember it being like 20 to 30 grand for the pair. And those things are legit. I mean, they're really nice. Well, I say that, I haven't heard them, but they look the part, right? But that's the only thing that I know in terms of speakers that Sony makes. And I don't even know how many they sell of those. Like, to me, that's probably one of their, that may be like, hey, look at what we can do. But I don't know if they even sell them anymore, if they make them. I have no idea. Yeah,
let's be real. I mean, Sony can make good speakers. Like, they have the capability. They have the budget. Money.
Yeah.
They just don't want to, I don't think. I think they're like, this is the crowd we're going for, and we're not worried about the hi-fi sector.
And let's make subs with 5 1/4 inch woofers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's do that.
That's
as long as it has DSP, right, Joe?
That's got to shake China in his wine glasses.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So anyway, the review's out. It's a pretty popular video just because it says Sony. You know?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.